Hello and welcome back to Colin Bradley Artcast. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley.
In our last episode, we talked about your career. What would you have done if you hadn't become an artist? And it was really interesting. And we talked a lot about kind of where you got all of those, what parts of the job were enjoyable and least enjoyable, and also a little bit more about your background and your career. On this one, I know this sounds like it's being a little bit, this might sound a little bit more introspective, if that's the right word. But I want to, because what I think would be interesting for people that are perhaps discovering you for the first time, or they're just starting out on their journeys. And I want to use you as an example, because with all of your knowledge and experience of starting this business and being in the business, what would you tell your younger self? Like, what wisdom could you impart on Colin just starting out? Like, is there any advice that you would have for past you?
Yes, I think when you have faith in yourself and you're able to have a confidence in what you do, then you should pursue that whatever. And when I look back sometimes and I think, God, did I take a chance doing what I did? I had a family, children, and I uprooted from one town to the seaside town we're now in. And that was a big step to take, giving up a business that I had and taking on something I'd absolutely nothing. But if you've got confidence in yourself, if you have this inner feeling, I've really got to try that because I lose nothing by it, then I think you are going to be successful. It's when you doubt, that's the thing. Don't doubt. If you doubt it, chances are you're not going to succeed in it. And I think that you've got to be guided, I think, basically by your inner self. And if you yourself feel that you're doing the right thing, and you get that feeling, then you should go ahead with it, whatever happens. And I think that's what I would have told myself then.
Yeah. Do you think you needed to be told that? Do you think you subconsciously just knew?
I do knew it.
You just had that, no, this is going to work.
Yes. When I look back on it, I think, where did that come from? I had no idea where it came from. I came from encouragement, as you say, the chap who helped me when I first started out. And I had a lot of people actually helping me, which was wonderful, really. And, there was no negatives. I think that's another thing I can see. Once you start bringing negatives into it, that's when you flounder. And I didn't flounder at all. I couldn't believe that in the first 6 months of me actually, not that really. From August to December it was. That was the first few months. Now, we were in the secondary trading area here where we were. And to all intents and purposes, it could not have worked. Did I rely on people passing the door? I mean, I had a sign on it. But I think what I was also conscious of is I need to adapt. I listened to people. And one of the things that did happen was when I started my business, and really the animals portrait work started because somebody passed by and said, would you do my animal? I said, I can't draw it. Oh, give it a go. So I did. And I succeeded. When I look back on it, it wasn't that great now. Not in the present level that I'm in. But I thought, let's give it a go. So I said, yeah, I do. That did give me a wobble when you do something like that, because what you're doing then is you're giving somebody something they love and they're fond of. And if it doesn't work out, but it never happened. They were delighted with it. And from then onwards, that gave me, again, more confidence. Once again, the confidence comes in.
You had a confidence in, this is building from what we talked about last time, but you had the confidence in all the sales and your ability to sell, no doubt in that. But art is such a vulnerable pursuit that, you know, to hear there was wobbles in that is good. It's human, right? There must be, for all the other artists out there, the same wobbles, the same doubts. So I suppose the only aspect you needed validating was on the artistic side, you know, in terms of you were selling prints, validated. People liked what you did.
That's true, but the difference is there, if you're just an ordinary person doing your artwork, loving it and putting it into an exhibition, and sometimes it was sold, sometimes it doesn't, that would not have suited me. What happened was I was selling to people pictures that they wanted, either by pet portrait work or the prints that I was producing of local scenes, because that's the key here, was local scenes. People want local scenes. So if you were to willy-nilly just do this picture and that picture and this picture and then hope that they're going to sell, that's not going to work. You've got to have a theme, really. And that's what I was lucky enough to find, the theme.
That's your business brain coming in. I could sense it, because this is a unique aspect to your personality. I think you see as, well, I'm self-employed and I've pursued business, and entire family, all of the children have gone that way as well. That's your business brain coming in. It's spotting those opportunities, isn't it?
I think because I had a training right early on that, and I had my own business anyway. Even with a partnership, it was still my business. And when I started the carpet clean, that was very successful. And because that was successful, and again, it ended up earning me a pretty good living, I had the confidence, once again, confidence. But that builds. Just from the start, it builds up. And once you know you've done it once, you can do it again and do it again. And you know why you did it, because you were doing it because it's what people wanted. If they didn't want it, you wouldn't have it. But I totally agree with you. I would always say to people, I want to become an artist. How do you do it? Do it for yourself to start with. Do it because you want to do it. And if you happen to sell pictures, that's good. But it's very, very rare that you get an artist that can actually sell pictures and make a living at selling pictures without being famous.
Nowadays, with the internet, it's more possible to get to that level of notoriety with the internet. And I suppose a true testament to you starting a business in the secondary trading area in the 80s, you really only got word of mouth and passing trade, you know, and local ads,
That's
you know,
right.
in newspapers. There's no real discoverability.
No, that's right.
Around, you know, what you did. So easier now, but
I was lucky though. I mean, you've got to say, I mean, people don't believe in luck, but I was fortunate rather than lucky that I took the opportunities as they came along. And
that's another thing. So that I wanted to talk, you reminded me to pick that out, because you said that someone come along and they said about a pet portrait and you went, okay, I'll do it. And I suppose it's spotting those chances, right? Spotting those opportunities.
That's right.
And not being afraid to give it a go.
Well, the other thing that was major, now when I look back on it, it was a major breakthrough, was teaching. People used to say to me, can you teach? You should be teaching. He said, I can't teach. I said, and I believed I couldn't, because you need training, you need, no, I couldn't do it. And then at one point in time, someone said to me, do you know, I'll buy these pencils, because I was selling the pencils then. I'll buy these pencils, but you've got to show us how to use them. That gave me a little bit of wobble, and I thought, oh, hang on.
They essentially blackmailed you
to
teaching.
And there was, I think it was 3 or 4 people together said, we'll buy the pencils. So it would have been a fair income for me. I thought, okay, I will. I still charged them. I charged them for a 6-week course, and that was going to be it, finish. But unfortunately, when the 6 weeks come out, well, you're not going to stop, are you?
They all wanted more.
And that was the beginning of what I do now, really, the teaching side.
Yeah, that's, again, another opportunity. You took all of the opportunities that came your way and saw them Yeah, okay, I'll do it. You needed some convincing with the getting
Well,
the blackmail in of them
oh
trying to
yeah.
get that.
Well,
You
that's right.
saw the money and you thought, oh, that would be a good. Your sales brain clicked in and thought, that's a good sell. That's a good sale. That's a good, yeah.
The thing is, what did I have to lose? You know, I mean,
You were already using them,
yeah,
so you knew
yeah,
how to use them. You're just showing other people, I
that's
suppose.
exactly right. Yes, yes.
But if someone had said to you, demonstrate in front of 50 people how to use them back then, you would have
I
gone,
wouldn't have been able to do it then.
he
No.
had to be eased
But you
into
see,
it.
once again, that comes from the confidence that you build up yourself because you have the reaction from people, especially teaching. At that time, I was teaching full time then with quite a few classes. And so it gave me confidence because I could see that I could adjust people's pictures. And I used to physically do that. Oh, this is how you do it. Let me show you. And I did it. And when you do that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, it gives you the confidence.
Yeah.
And then when you come to do a presentation, you just relay all that.
And there's no problem that you've probably not come across because you've had so many students with so many hundreds and thousands of problems that you've had to fix for them. You're getting like so much experience in
That's
what
right.
these pencils can do because you're having 100, or not 100 people, but like a room full of people in a workshop getting things wrong and more things wrong than you would get wrong. So you're learning off of them
That's
how
right.
to fix them.
That's right.
And stuff. So that's a supercharged way of learning a medium,
It
isn't
was
it?
a good training ground, really, teaching like that. But with no formal training at all, it takes a bit of confidence to be able to do it. But I had...
Well, you had the acting
the
genes,
acting.
didn't you? The acting genes, again, teaching. And I think, a lot of those skills transfer, wanting to
I think you're right.
perform or be extroverted in that environment, it all transferred. There's a lot of things, as you can see throughout your life, aspects of your personality that completely aligned with the career and the actual job that you chose to do. I just want to touch upon in this episode because now being a dad myself, I can relate to kind of, which is why I was interested to hear about when you decided to make that leap to being a full-time artist and having a gallery and, moving the kids down and all of that kind of stuff. And whether that was scary for you because, it feels like when you have children or family, the risk just, in my head, just must tenfold, in terms of like, what if this doesn't work? And I've obviously been self-employed for long time. And, now that I have a family, the thought of doing something, I suppose it's different because I don't have something like you have that you are so confident in doing. But I suppose my question is, the choice to become an artist and the choice to go down that route, how did that impact your family life in terms of, I know we were very lucky because you had the business where we lived. You were around, and we knew you were working, but you were never far away, unless you were off somewhere in the country demonstrating. But how do you feel about raising a family and being self-employed?
Well, I think if you want to turn that on its head, having the family forces you to make it work. If you didn't have that incentive, you could say, oh, I don't think I want to do this. Maybe you wake up in the morning, I think I've had enough of this. You can't even think like that. So having the family is a great asset to you. Having a wife and having a mortgage, all of these things are important because they make you do it. You haven't got any choice. As long as you're enjoying what you do. I mean, a lot of people don't enjoy their job, and if they don't enjoy it, then it must be very, very difficult, or their profession or whatever they choose to do. But I was lucky. You're lucky, and all my siblings, the 4 children that I got are all self-employed. It's strange that, isn't it? They're all self-employed.
You showed us the way. This is the thing.
Yes.
You showed us how it could work. But I think, yeah, that's really true. That's really true. There is definitely a huge motivation to want to succeed. You have no choice. You don't want to make your family homeless, do you? But especially nowadays, there's more flexible working nowadays. But back then, you must have felt very privileged to be in the position that you were in to be around, and to have a job.
I love that. That was lovely. I mean, but then again, you could say, were you lucky? And I don't think I was lucky here. I was just fortunate to have fallen into all the things and taken the opportunities when they came along. And if you do that, you should be okay. And but it was lovely, yes. Seeing your family grow up, and when you pack up you just had to walk upstairs, didn't I? That was the end of my day. And I don't think I ever broke for lunch at any time. I think I worked through the lunch.
I remember you eating your lunch downstairs working.
That's right.
I remember you'd come up and make it, and then you'd go back downstairs and eat it because you'd be framing.
That's wonderful. I mean, people would envy that.
Yeah.
But again, it's because we looked around, we found this place, and we made it work. And so I think that's the key. You've got to make it work. If you've got a family, then you've got no choice.
Lovely. Well, I want to round up the episode then there, and we'll talk more in the next one. But as always, if you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, follow, do all those lovely things. Drop us a comment on this episode. It'd be lovely to hear from you all, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thanks, Steve.